Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another cast from SE2 Improve. I am Wardí, and today I'm going to be casting a TvZ from Wings of Liberty, a replay which I found from reddit.com/r/castit, submitted by Wherewolf, and apparently it's a long action-packed TvZ, so really excited to get right on into it today. So, in the bottom left-hand corner we have our red Terran player, the player who did submit this replay. He is Wherewolf, and in the upper right hand corner the blue Zerg player, AlStriker. So we're playing on Daybreak, of course, and of course it is TvZ, and these guys, they're both in the Masters League, so expecting some pretty decent gameplay out of the both of them, and hopefully some pretty exciting high paced gameplay. As it looks like Striker's actually going to opt to go for a drone scout here, which a lot of Zerg players don't really bother doing anymore, especially if they don't check for proxies with it and they go straight across the map. They just don't bother doing this. However, it can be really useful, of course, to spot for that early command center first build, or just to see if there's no racks in the main base at all once it gets over there. So we'll see AlStriker moving across the map, but he's just going to see a very regular barracks at the front, probably looking like a gasless expand from Wherewolf. And as I was just saying on Daybreak, I mean, this is a two-player map, so them proxy barracks plays are definitely a possibility. Both down, position and proxy down by the third base is one of the most common locations. So, drone scouting on a two-player map is always a good way to make sure you kind of get the best heads-up possible about any kind of proxy barracks play. So, AlStriker just playing nice and safely, and well, what else can we kind of expect to see on Daybreak in a TvZ? In general, the third base, of course, very easy to kind of hold, defend, and the fourth base too, it's very easy to sit in the middle of the map and just defend the entranceway to your third and natural from there. As a Terran player, you're going to be looking to do a lot of drops throughout the mid game, and the main base is very nice for dropping into. There's got a lot of kind of surface around the edges in which you can target with your drops, and of course the third base is pretty nice to drop as well, and especially as the game goes on, this bottom right base for the Terran player is going to be kind of a target point, trying to deny that base for as long as possible with drops, also dropping in the main base while probably looking to push through the middle and get a really nice position on your opponent's fourth right here in the middle. So Wherewolf, he's coming in to scout as well right now, a fair amount later than his opponent. Again, that's a very early scout that we saw out of AlStriker, and well, he sees gasless play and he's going to get out of there before any lings come up to be able to chase down his SCV, just playing it nice and safe, not wanting that to die early on. And AlStriker, he went for the hatch first, followed by a pool, so that means he's just going to be able to start up his first two queens right now, and that's exactly what's happening, as his first two lings also just pop out, and they're going to start taking the early map control, probably trying to hunt down this SCV to see if it's still around on the map. But Wherewolf deciding to just pull this all the way back home to his own tower. And sometimes you can hide it down at the fourth base, maybe then run back into the third base in a little bit, try and see what is up, see if anything interesting is happening, maybe even see at the front of the natural if there's 4 queens out, if there's only 3 queens out, or whatever. So sometimes we do see that in this game, having Wherewolf pulling his SCV back home, leaving on the tower, and it will unfortunately get picked off by them 2 Zerglings. So not the biggest of issues, and Wherewolf is actually going to be attacking here with these 5 Marines, going to pick off one ling, and the other ling is going to have to run away pretty darn fast, and that's exactly what it does to keep itself alive. But, well, what's going on in Wherewolf's base, because he had a lot of Marines there, and we don't usually see that many Marines with a kind of gasless expand into double gas play. So what is he really going for here? Well, it looks like his gas wasn't taken too quickly. He's actually been able to add both of his racks on very fast, and he's just gone up to 3 barracks. He's starting up his stim. It looks a lot like the kind of... He's actually getting a second tech lab even. This is a little bit interesting. It kind of looks like the standard kind of 1 racks FE into 3 racks gas play that you see in TVP and even in TVT a lot of the time. So a little bit interested to see what he's going to come with this. He's obviously going to be going for a very fast kind of bio time with stim and combat shields, and that should be able to do a lot of damage, especially against the style that AlStriker is playing. This third base, it's just going down right now. He's only got a few lings out. He's obviously going to have a lot of queens out to begin spreading his creep. He's up on 4 right now, and so his speed's going to be delayed. He's not going to, if he doesn't get his bayonet nest down in time, if he's committing to a lot of upgrades, which it looks like he might very well be, as he does start to get into the Evo chamber down and starts getting that layup as well. Wherewolf might find himself attacking at a point in which AlStriker, he doesn't have Banelings, and he's going to have a really hard time dealing with a big kind of bio ball because he doesn't have any splash damage. So we'll see what comes of this attack from Wherewolf, as you have to assume he's going to attack. He's not taking a fast third base, so you have to assume some kind of time is going to be coming out of him, unless he's seen something kind of crazy weird out of the Zerg player here. So just starting up his wall, as he adds a factory down there on the low ground. A little bit of an interesting place for your factory, especially if you're going to use it to kind of make a starport next to you, build a reactor on it. But nonetheless, factory coming down there on the low ground, and Wherewolf very happily just pumping out these marines right now, as he looks like he's sending another SCV out to go for a little bit of scout, maybe just even to hold the tower, as AlStriker coming in here, really nice overlord to scout. Gonna see everything that's up, sees a double tech lab, sees a reactor, and that means only one thing, hey, upgrades. And in fact, as soon as he sees this, he throws down a baneling nest somewhere in his base. And that's because, you know, hey, he's scouted 3 racks play, it's going to be a bio push, and you need some kind of splash damage, you need the banelings to be able to deal with that. So AlStriker now, he's going to be able to morph in some banelings in plenty of time, and the only real thing I have to say for him right now is he's got Zergling speed. He should really be trying to contend this tower a little bit more. Just running one Zergling over there, trying to see when this push is coming, as he doesn't even have the Overlord in the classic position on the high ground up here, so he had no idea this attack was moving out until just now, and there that Zergling will see it just as the Overlord spots it as well. So Wherewolf moving in with these marines, and does AlStriker have enough? Well, right now on the map we only see 1 Zergling, however 3 banelings are being morphed in, 34 lings in the production tab, and they should come out in plenty of time to deal with this, as AlStriker is going to go into the mutalist play after this. And here we go, Wherewolf going in here, he's going to have to split well against the banelings. Of course, there's only 3 of them. First baneling hits decent, but it looks like there might just be enough lings to send this all the way back home, and it looks like, yes, there will be. These 2 banelings coming in as well, and will be exploding to finish off them bio forces. So a really nice hold from AlStriker. You know, he maybe made a few too many lings, but he's already straight back to drone. He killed the whole army, and that's fantastic for him, because now he's going to be able to make so many drones. He's not going to be afraid of another attack, because he just killed up that army for more or less nothing. And Wherewolf really not achieving too much there. Like, sure, he denied a few more drones coming out of his opponent. He forced a little bit of gas to be spent on some banelings, but in reality, his third base isn't even kind of down quite yet. And so, in all honesty, Wherewolf seems like he might be a little bit behind here, despite the worker counts being relatively close, and it all comes down to this third base not being up quite yet. You know, this is why 3 base builds are so common in TvZ, because players like to get that early economy, and then even do a bio push off of that, because they can go back and fall back on their economy and still force units with a bio push off of the fast 3 CC. But Wherewolf choosing to play the safer option, and we'll see if he can do any damage with these drops, the first of which is actually moving up to the top side of the map, as it looks like we've got a little bit of a Overseer and Changeling coming in to scout once again the main base of the Terran player. So, you know, AlStriker just keeping his scouting going again and again, and look at this, he's got really good awareness of these drops. As the drop does come in, he's going to be forced to lift up immediately. These mutalists aren't actually going to go and deflect that. In fact, just going straight across the map and just saying, well, you know, if you don't know that my Spire is up, then I'm going to have a field day here, because you might not be prepared for my mutalisks at all. Even I can't find the Spire. So, wow, I really can't find that. Would you believe it? So Wherewolf is going to be as surprised as I am, because I've got no idea where that Spire has gone down, and he was all the way over to his third base trying to deal with this Overlord spread and creep over there, and these muters now running into the natural, getting a few kills, already forcing the workers to have been pulled from the main base, and instantly just getting out of here and picking off a couple more workers on their exit. Might even force a cancel on this turret, and yeah, you'll be able to actually get the kill there. So AlStriker with a really nice play there with the mutalists getting in there, doing some early damage. 10 worker kills, definitely worthwhile, and continues to take another 10 worker lead now. So he's got a few lings left at home, but they're not actually in the back of the natural where drop is right now. But Wherewolf will have to pick that up, because there's enough units here to deflect it, and the muters are going to be able to clean that up sooner rather than later. And finally I find the Spire, it's actually in the back of the natural. So Wherewolf going to unload here, and just trying to make the most of it, as the muters did come over, cleans it up, and you know, there's no real way you're going to be able to get back in the game once the there's no real way you get back in the game. He's not that far behind from losing a drop. there's no real way he was going to be able to make much more happen with that job, so it's better to unload, maybe possibly kill 1 or 2 Zerglings than just let it die in vain. So maybe in Heart of the Swarm where the medevac booster is around, maybe that would have come into use there, maybe that medevac could have survived, but sadly not in Wings of Liberty. So Werewolf, he's finally getting his third base mine. It's not completely saturated quite yet, and he's not got his gases going either, but his upgrades are going quite well. He's got 2-1, and he's got his +2 armor on the way, as well as AlStriker definitely going just straight up for this, you know, very heavy Mutaling Bane force. He's getting his infestation pit down now, so he will be heading towards the hive tech sometime in the near future, but that's not going to be for another 3-4 minutes or so. So tier 3 tech's a long way away, which gives Werewolf a pretty long time to hit any kind of free base 2-2 timing, and it looks like he wants to maybe begin doing that right now, moving out to the middle of the map, moving out to his own tower, and well, he's going to see these units coming in right now. He's going to stim, he needs to siege up, and that's exactly what he'll do. AlStriker pulling back and now going to come in once again with these Bane as well. The splits from our Terran player, there they are, actually lifted up a few of his Marines. Feels like that was maybe a little bit of a missed rally, but now he's going to drop the rest of them out, and he's actually picking off a lot of these mutas here. 2-1 Marines, so effective against mutas, and here come the reinforcements. AlStriker not trading effectively here at all, going to be pushed back, and Werewolf going to be able to make the hold on his army here, and you know, now he's going to be able to reinforce this and go again, and AlStriker's going to have to continuously remake Banelings, and the more Banelings he makes, the less gas he has, and the less gas he has, the less infestors he's going to be able to transition into now, the less ultras / broodlords or whatever else he's going to be able to transition into now, as his hive does come up there in the production tab, about 75% of the way done. In fact, he's not even going to have time to morph in Banelings now, as this push is going to continue coming, and in fact, these Banes are going to start dying off. AlStriker really needs to cancel them, as you know, if he doesn't, he's just losing gas for nothing, and Werewolf all of a sudden going to be able to have this huge push coming in, and well, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. We think the muta count isn't very high right now, just a few lings and mutas here to defend, and AlStriker looks like he's in a lot of trouble. This Marine force continuing to push forward right now, as the mutas are coming in. They're going to try and clear up. If they can take out all of the Marines here, they're going to be able to clean up everything else, and that's exactly what it looks like it's about to happen. 1, 2, 3 tanks do go down, and now these mutas not actually going to risk themselves on the Marines, but going to come in now as the medevacs try to retreat, but they're actually both going to go down, and AlStriker is pushing this battle backwards. The Marauders are cleaned up, and so he's going to be able to now hold his 4th base. He hasn't lost any workers at all during all of this. He's actually up on 80 workers. And so he comes out of this with a fantastic economy, 3-3 on the way, and an Ultra Cavern on the way down. So AlStriker, what looked really scary for him from having so few units, he's now in a really strong position. He's moving out, he's going to try and deny the 4th base for the Terran as long as possible. Just going to scout with his lings, see what is up where, and see where them command centers are going to be trying to land. And you know, that just gives them information, just delays it ever so slightly. I mean, it's going to be delayed, what, 5-10 seconds here? Not the biggest of deals, but for one Zergling, it is probably worthwhile. So this base down to the bottom right, the 5th base, is on the way up for AlStriker, and it has actually just been scanned from our Terran player as well. So as I said earlier, right at the start of the class, I said, you know, that's going to be a base where Wherewolf's going to want to continually drop, while dropping the main base and pushing the middle, and he should start doing that now. He wants to try and deny that ASAP, so that it never goes up, and so he can deny the amount of gas income the Zerg player has. Right now, he's got Hive Tech up, but it doesn't look like he wants to really go into Broodlords at all. The Spire right now, it's not being morphed into Great Spire, it is just the Ultralisk Cavern and the Ultralisk upgrades, which are coming out of our Zerg players. So the transition into Ultras might be coming out soon, but still, dropping that bottom right base, denying the gas, it just shuts down any kind of infestor creation, whatever else. But it looks like AlStriker is going to come in from 2 sides right now. Werewolf, he's all clumped up, and he is going to have to stim backwards here. Only one tank, going to have to split in towards his planning before this gigantic Bane hits going off. Really good engagement here from AlStriker, coming from both angles. Is there enough to clean up the Marines on the ground? I don't think there is, and all of a sudden Werewolf now going to push this army back once again, and AlStriker losing a lot of his mutas there, which he can't afford to do. He needs to try and keep these mutas alive. They're expensive. He needs to be more cost efficient with them, and if he continues trading them like that after fights, he's going to go from having a really good fight to a really kind of inefficient fight cost-wise. So as you can see all game long, AlStriker's been playing inefficiently. He's got a lot of Marine Lings now though. He should be able to clean up this attack. He's trying to wait on a few Banes, but they're once again going to get killed off. He has to go now. Fortunately, there's only one tank in here for Werewolf, and so he's not going to take too much tank fire. getting the surrounding here. The Bane and getting a huge hit off there, and it looks like this 1 meter, well, it won't necessarily take down this tank very quickly, but 6 ultras on the way, 3 infestors as well, and this is such a back and forth game right now. You know, the Zerg player attacks the Terran player's fourth, the Terran player counters with an attack on the Zerg's fourth. Infestors now out, getting a fungal growth on all of them medivacs, but is that going to be worthwhile? Maybe if he gets on all these Marines. Huge fungal growth going down, brilliant fungal growth. Does he get another one down? No, he does not, as Wherewolf lifted into his medivac once again, and now AlStriker finally starting to take some damage, running his infestors in here as well. Not very effective at all, but here come the ultralists, and this marine heavy army is going to suddenly find itself in a lot of trouble, not dealing much damage to these ultras at all, taking a lot of damage as well. And Wherewolf with some really nice splits here, trying to maximize this army's efficiency, but he, at the end of the day, he's barely going to take out one ultralisk, if even that. A fungal growth coming down, and he will clean this up. Not a single ultralisk lost, and now AlStriker, it's his turn to counter-attack once again. He's got the ultras out. Wherewolf, does he have a resupply? He needs to get his medivacs back home. They're really important. Can't afford to lose them at all right now. And so, AlStriker looks like he's going to get ready to go. He's replenishing his infestors. Of course, losing them initially was never a good thing. And, well, it looks like we've got a drop coming into the main base as well right now. So, Banelands left over here are going to be able to pretty much shut this down. The spore crawlers as well, doing a really nice job of that. But 5 Marines do get out. But it's not going to take too much more to really clean them up. But transfuses on the Queens even could buy a lot of time, as well, our Terran players trying to take a base to the top left, but that Zergling from earlier being very annoying, burrowing over there. As these 5 Marines actually do end up taking out 2 Queens here. Going to do a little bit of damage here as well. Maybe even going to try to chase down Infestor, but Ling's going to reinforce us. We actually have a huge engagement over here. AlStriker running in with the Ultralists. And, well, I actually think there's just too much bio left for Wherewolf, especially with the Planetary Fortress there. Way too much DPS going to come out of that, and AlStriker again being turned around. Burrowing his ultras, just trying to buy some time maybe for an infestor to get here. But look at this, the bio chasing it down. Wherewolf with so many medivacs. The fungal growths are good, but is it going to be enough? It will take out a lot of this bio, but look at the medevac count. So many medevacs up, and that means Wherewolf, he can be so cost efficient with this bio again and again and again against ultralists. And that's why in a TvZ situation like this, you want to try and head towards them Broodlords at some point, you know. There's a point at which the bio with enough medevacs just becomes so worthwhile, and especially against ultralisks. Once the Marauder Stalk coming out, it's going to become very hard for a Zerg player to get much done. So AlStriker, what he is getting done is taking the map as his own. He's consistently taking these bases. He's now got this base up to this 6th position here. And, you know, we don't usually see that from Zerg players on this map at all. I mean, it's very rare we even see a 6th base in TvZ, actually. I mean, 5 bases is very common, but being able to hold a base here is pretty rare. But look at this. This is why. Because as you try and defend this base or get in position up to the top, you have a huge attack coming down to the bottom, and you're just out of position to deal with it. AlStriker now going to lose his base down to the bottom right here. These drones probably going to go down as well. Really nice pre-splits from Wherewolf, and no question about it, this base will go down. But at the same time, Ling's coming into this Planetary Fortress over here. Can he kill it off? Will there be too much DPS repair from the SCVs? No, there will not be. So AlStriker trading a base for a base right now, but he might lose his 3rd base as well. He's got no army at all to come back and defend this, so Wherewolf doing really nice economic damage right now. As AlStriker is going to try and come into the 4th base. If random Banshee all of a sudden going to be able to start picking off infestors. The repair is just too large on this Planetary Fortress, and, well, AlStriker is going to get turned around, while all at the same time he's losing his own bases. He's lost his middle base as well, and so all of a sudden he finds himself on only one real mining base. Ling's trying to stream in to deal with this now. The ultras are here as well, but pick up on the medevac and going to head straight over to the main to just continue keeping the Zerg player back here, as Wherewolf at the 4th base, the rest of his units here pick up in the medevacs, and he can just go back home, meet up with his reinforcements. And AlStriker's in a lot of trouble due to his decision making here. The drop in the main, killing off overlords. Wherewolf just all over the map right now, and a great decision by him to attack down to that bottom side. And you know, the Planetary Fortresses, they're so good at holding their own, and look at this Wherewolf now realizing this base is up to the top side of the map as well, and he's going to be able to start target firing that down. Can AlStriker get any units there in time? I don't know if he can. He's going to send some units up there, so yes, he will. But already that Hatchery on half health, it just takes one more attack like this, and AlStriker is suddenly on 0 mining bases, as Vikings just hunting down overlords, I assume, right now in the middle of the map. A Banshee as well, just doing whatever it can, picking off the Ling on the tower even, as this huge bioforce from Wherewolf right now just turns this small army away from AlStriker. AlStriker really struggling to find a way back into this now. You know, he's in this position where he's not able to make too many units, and the units he's already got aren't very effective against the kind of Terran composition. Heavy bio play against a Zerg who's just kind of mostly Ling Ultra with Infestors. That's exactly the composition you want to be in, and that's exactly what we're seeing. The Banshees coming forward, forcing kind of the infested Terrans to come out of the Infestors, and that's not what you want to be using that energy for right now. As sure, the Banshees are going to go down, but look at how little energy all of a sudden these Infestors have left, and that means they're not going to be able to fungal the main army when we have a main engagement. Again, great play from Wherewolf all over the map, coming down here, killing the right base. During this attack with the Banshees, he picked off this base to the top as well, and just keeping AlStriker down on economy, unable to expand. And look at how many command centers he's adding on. Going to be able to morph them all into orbital commands, start sacrificing SCVs, and his economy is just going to be kind of ridiculous. As already we see some SCVs kind of getting killed off, more drones getting taken down here as well, as he's just going to try and sim away and be as efficient as possible with these units, as it looks like we've got a drop in the main base. Once again, Wherewolf getting ready to do some more damage with this, and well, AlStriker realizes this, he sees it with his units, and he's going to be able to send some lings up in here to time to save it, but he loses one of the queens, so this drop kind of worthwhile, especially considering how far ahead Wherewolf is anyway. I mean, just look at this army back at home. He's actually adding 3 Banshees on a time, recognizing his opponent can't really deal with the anti-air. And, you know, that's a weird transition. We don't see it much, but we're also seeing the Ghost play going to be coming out of Wherewolf right now, as that Ghost Academy is mostly completed. And, well, again, Wherewolf is just standing strong on his 4th base, his 5th base up and running now. And it's AlStriker who's scrambling to get bases up. He's only just got his 4th base back. His 5th base is still in production. So 30 minutes into this game, we stand at a point where Wherewolf is in a really strong economic position. He's in a really strong position army-wise as well, and he's going to move across the map right now. All he really needs to do is stim a few units ahead to make sure he doesn't run into anything too bad. He's going to be able to stim here. Are there going to be huge fungals going down actually all over the medevacs? This is the kind of engagement AlStriker needs if he's going to ever come back in this game, fungling the whole of that army, but it's just not enough at all. The medevacs survive, and a lot of this army on very low health as AlStriker does GG, and, well, you know, that's just how far behind he was at that point. He got the amazing fungals, best fungals he was ever really realistically going to get. On a lot of the army, he nearly killed off all the medevacs, but it just wasn't enough. Maybe 2 more infestors, kill off the rest of that army, suddenly he's back in the game. Maybe. It's still going to be tough. He's just lost the base to the bottom right against some kind of run by, and, well, you know, AlStriker, it was that one decision up to the top where he said, he was up here and he said, right, let's go over. He's down to the bottom. I'm not going to try save my bases. I'm going to kill his base. But I think he underestimated the amount of damage that army was going to do, because sure, he was expecting to lose this base. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect to lose his 4th base in the middle and his 3rd base as well at the same time. So a little bit of a missed decision there. Really the largest turning point of this game. Guys, I've been Wardí. Thank you very much for watching my cast. This was Wherewolf against AlStriker, submitted by Wherewolf on reddit.com/r/castit. If you did enjoy my cast, please do consider following me and SC2Improve. You can follow us at Twitter at twitter.com/SC2_improve, and you can also follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/SC2Improve, so that you can see when we upload any VODs. And if you follow us on Twitter, of course, we'll be announcing, or I'll be announcing, exactly when I'm casting and anything like that. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the cast, and until next time, have a good night, and I'll see you later.